Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Kelly. If you don't know me already, I'm a top 500 Overwatch player that hit one above all last season, and I'm trying to get it back, but I'm currently stuck in GM. But hopefully, I'll get it back soon. You can check out my Twitch at twitch.tv/KellyOW. I'm in the midst of making more quality guides for you guys right now. Like I'm making more Moon Knight guides. I'm making a Wolverine guide. But in the meantime, I thought I'd just make a really quick video telling you guys my thoughts on what I think how strong each character is in season 1 of this game. This is just my opinion, and if you disagree, don't hate me. Don't hate anyone else for their opinion. Just let me know in the comments very politely, and we can talk about it. And I'm also a really big advocate before we begin that you should play what you want to play, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Just because I put someone in very bad, pretty bad, or even just fine doesn't mean you should stop playing them and then try really hard to get good at meta, because it'll change. I mean, you can hit any rank with any character. I've seen it happen. One above all, maybe maybe some more than others. But yeah, like for example, I'm definitely not putting Moon Knight in meta, but I'm still gonna be playing him always because I love that character, right? So to begin, it's alphabetical. I'll put timestamps later so you can just click on the character you want to see and then see where I put them. But to begin, Adam is put him fine. I mean, he used to be great, but I think he's gotten a little bit worse since the changes, which didn't change him directly, but I think he got affected. He does a niche really well. He heals a single target. Obviously, it bounces around, but it's only really good in the middle of the fight. If you do it before a fight begins, then you're just gonna run out of heals when the fight actually happens. And then I think that's his biggest weakness. Obviously, his DPS is high. His ults pretty good. I've seen bad ults. I've seen good ults. I think it's map dependent. I also think it's dependent on how good the enemy team is because they can just loki just run in and just kill everyone that the Adam reses. But he's not a horrible pick. The meta is moving towards 3 supports, and I think he's a pretty decent 3rd support. But if you only have 2, and one of them is an Adam Warlock, I'm looking at my supports and I'm like, it's gonna be a little bit hard. Next is Black Panther, and I used to put him up here. I'm thinking about putting him like low fine because honestly, I'm so sorry to all my Black Panther mains out there. That was rough for you guys. That was actually really rough. The nerfs hit him super hard. The amount of shields he gets got decreased, but the most important thing was the cap on the shields. He's really squishy now. Like Black Panther used to be able to get in, kill 2, and then get out, and no one would ever be able to see him. He was like a shadow, right? But now he gets in, gets 1, and then he dies instantly. And characters that do that aren't very good. If you get 1 and then die, you're just evening the team fight. You don't really do anything. A big part about Panther right now is that he's really easily counter swapped. Like Panther's good into some characters, but then they swap into like Namor, and then it's just over for him. So I'm gonna put him in fine. If you're like a hardcore Panther main, then honestly I'd put him in great. But for the average Panther, he's fine. Like I'm not crazy about having him on my team, but I'm not gonna be really sad. I'm gonna be really sad if I see this character on my team. This character's really bad. Black Widow is people thought this character was gonna be broken because people played Widowmaker in Overwatch. But her ult's bad. Her damage is just okay. But the biggest part about her is the moment the enemy team just sees you, they notice you, you're just dead. They just run on you and you have nothing to do. There's like, if you're a main on this character, that's cool. She's kind of fun. There's like 3 Black Widow 1-tricks in top 500, which isn't that much. But it's weird that there's 3. So surely someone's like, they've done it before, so like you can do it too. Captain America. You guys have seen like the guy, right? Like he's like, top 500 Captain America, streamers react. This character's pretty bad. Like, if you guys, he doesn't do anything. Like the meme, like what does he do? He literally doesn't do anything. He just kind of, he lives, and he just kind of exists. He wins games by scaring people. The only games I've lost to Captain America is when people just get scared of him. Like they just, Captain my backline. He's beating me up, like, but he's not gonna kill you. He doesn't do anything. They're just down a tank. You just ignore him and you just run in, and he doesn't do anything. I think he needs buffs, like ASAP. Let's talk about his abilities. His ults, pretty good, low key. but every other ability is just fine. His movement's like amazing. Like he gets in, like does like 20 damage max, and then gets out. It's cool that he gets out, and he's just like he ends the game with 0 deaths, but he doesn't do anything. This character does a lot though. Cloak and dagger. I used to be a cloak and dagger like. I used to think she was really good. People thought that she was like just fine, but then they buffed her, and now she's like definitely one of the best supports in the game, if not the best. Maybe this girl. But her healing is amazing, right? It's just so consistent, and it heals anyone. You just stay in dagger form like 80% of the time. You just chuck heals, you chuck your right click, and then you swap to cloak, you throw the blind, and then you go back to healing. And then if someone dives on you, you literally just cloak away, and then they can't do anything. But the main part about her that makes her really good, that I think, is just how fast her ult charges, bro. You get that ult every fight. If you don't get that ult every fight, you're doing something wrong. And that ult is like, it's not the best support ult, but it's still a support ult. And if you are new to this game and you don't know, I'm pretty sure every single support ult is like kind of broken, and they kind of need to change it, like how the support ults work. Like, they just make you immortal, and the fact that she makes you immortal every fight, that's just doing too much. This character is just Doctor Strange. He's been so good since the beginning of the game. It's kind of boring, I'm gonna be honest. He just does everything. His portal is... What's a portal? Like, yeah, the portal to any game is just really good. But he has really consistent damage, really strong damage. He takes space, like, really easily. You just walk in by left click, and then you hold shield for a second, and then you left click, and then you hold shield for a second. And then they have to run away because you're max darkness, and then you'll one-shot anyone that, like, looks in your general direction. And then Agamotto is really strong. Overall, he doesn't excel at anything, but he's like by far the best tank. Maybe you can make a argument that Magneto is like kind of similar to him, but it's good to solo tank. It's even better to duo tank. He just holds his own really well, and you can like the fact that you can take a 1v1 with basically every character in the game just says a lot. This character, Groot, I used to really like Groot, but I'm a Moon Knight player, so like I see a Groot on my team, and I'm just thinking about the ult combo. He's okay. He just... His walls are strong, but he's really map dependent, right? Like, if it's a map where someone can just go around his walls, then they just kind of just beat him up, and he has nothing else to do. Like, he has 3 abilities, and 2 of them are walls. So if you just somehow counter the walls by going around them or going above them, and he's just kind of a alt battery. Hawkeye? I have to put Hawkeye in gray. That's the sad part. Like, I don't like this character. I played this character so much because he's like, well, I was like, oh my god, he's like Hanzo, and I used to be a Hanzo guy. But I'm sick of this guy. I'm sick of him. You know how unfun it is to just like go into the game. I'm playing Mantis. I'm walking into point, and all of a sudden, I just get hawked to wood from across the point. Like that's not good game design. I hate this character, but I have to put him in gray because this is just the objective. This is how it is. I don't really have to talk much about him. Alt's really strong. All of his abilities are okay, but the fact that he can just one-shot someone is like... Is he like the only guy in the roster that can do that? I'm pretty sure he's like the only guy in the roster that can do it with the primary. So in theory, he can literally just 1v5 every team if he just lands his shots. But he doesn't even need to do that. He just lands one, and boom, you're down to support, and then his team wins the fight. Same thing with Hela. The fact that, like, she got nerfed so hard, but people still have to permaban her in like high elo, and that's just like that's saying something. Like next update, I need NetEase to just gut her. I need NetEase to put her back here. I want her to be worse than Black Widow. She has such simple game design. Like, she doesn't really do anything except just shoot people, and she's hit scan, and like she boils the game down to just an aim duel. And that, I think, like, in a game as tactical as this game, like Overwatch, she just makes the game like a Valorant thing, where you just, if you peek better, if you hit your shots better, you win. And I think that type of design in a hero shooter is just pretty boring. Her ult obviously makes her pretty much invincible. She just flies in, like, shoots someone, almost dies, ults, and then she does it again. Overall, I just hate this character. I hate this character so much. I also hate this character. If you ever watch my streams, I permaban this character first every game. It does not matter. Not because of this character, because of his team up with this guy. But I also just hate him. I think individually, he's great. Individually, he's like here. If I were to rake him and Iron Man together, they'd be both up here. But unfortunately, I haven't seen that team up in like 50 games because he's permabanned. So alone, he's just okay. He kind of just he gets blown up like instantly. He really depends on his team doing stuff because all he does is go in, rain havoc for like 3 seconds because of his shield, and then he gets out. But if the enemy team just waits out that shield or just breaks it, like everyone shoots the Hulk, then he just dies. His ult's pretty weak as well, in my opinion. I used to think it was really strong because you can just pop it, get 1000 HP, and just one-shot someone. But nowadays, I realize that you just get mantis leaped, you just get Luna stunned, you just get like everything. Like everyone just looks at you and you just insta die, and it's really sad. So I think that's keeping him from being up here. I think he's behind these two, so I'm gonna put him all the way on the right. I'm gonna try to order this left to right, by the way. Like left is a lot better than the right. Left to right, up to down. This character is up here. Some people have put her in meta. I wouldn't disagree with that, but I don't want to put too many people up there. I think she's really strong. She has everything a good support needs, right? Like really consistent healing, a good peel, a good get off me tool. That's your little psionic pulse or whatever it's called, the push. Like someone dives here, you just push them away, and then you jump, and then you're invisible. While the invisible woman turns invisible. Can you believe that? But it's just how consistent her healing is, and also you get your ult like every fight as well. And the ult's pretty decent. It's like it's less about making you invisible and more just healing everyone instead of the ult. So she's pretty strong, but she is new, so everyone's trying to figure her out. Maybe she gets worse. Maybe she gets even better. Who knows, right? I'm sorry to all my bronze fans. I'm sorry to all my gold below fans. This character is not good, guys. I'm thinking about it's one of these. Maybe here. Maybe here. Like, yeah, when I first started the game, I thought he was kind of good too. Like, he would just beat up my backline. But then I realized that that's just my backline's fault. Like, this character has nothing to deal with, like, a sleep, like a stun. He has nothing to deal with people shooting him. Like, he goes in, and yeah, he just punches you. But while he's punching you, that guy's standing still. Like, you just shoot him, and he just dies. Like, I'm pretty sure Black Widow got more one-tricks than this guy at top 500. There's, like, one guy that mains this guy, and honestly, I avoid him a lot. But I love him. Like, shout out to that guy. That's really cool that you're playing the character you like. But I cannot win with them. So I think this character's pretty bad. Unless someone invents like the epic tech that goes up, I'm gonna keep him down here, and I'm never gonna play him because ooh, I don't like dying. Jeff the Land Shark. He has okay. The thing about Jeff the Land Shark is he has one good thing. He has his ult. His ult's really good. His ult's really good because it just kills people. Like you just sacrifice yourself for killing people. That's sick. That's so cool. But other than that, he doesn't do anything. Yeah, he has good healing. And he lives. But every other support offers utility for the team, you know? Like a damage boost or a damage boost or like a pull. But Jeff doesn't do anything. He just heals. He's like the Moira of the game. Like Moira just heals and does damage. That's what Jeff does. There's this one Jeff, one trick in top 500, and I low-key love him. Like he makes the character look really good, but he's the only guy that does that. So that's why I'm not putting him in very bad. So I'm putting him in pretty bad, just because of that guy. Shout out to my boy. This character is next to Hulk. I don't think I've seen a solo Iron Man in the last month, and the game's been out a month. The Gamma upgrade just makes him broken. But he is just kind of a sitting duck in the air. And even with the Gamma upgrade, he's also a sitting duck. I used to think that it was like the strongest thing in the game. Like I would last season I would have put them up here, but now I realize that like the Gamma upgrade kills a guy, like insta kills someone. They insta kill a support. Like that's just how it works. Like if you're a support and you see an Iron Man, like it's too late already. But the thing is, while he's beaming a support, while he's absolutely eviscerating them, your team can just turn around and just one tap him. It's like the same reason why like Pharah Barrage and Overwatch is bad. Like sure it one taps someone, but like you also die, and going 1-for-1 is just never good. Yeah, I'm just gonna put them down here. Also, I haven't seen them in a while, so maybe they're better than I think, but maybe there's a reason why they're perma-banned. I don't know. I just don't think they're fun to play against. I don't think they're amazing. I think they're strong. If you're bronze and you really want to get out, just get a Hulk duo and you just play Iron Man. Or you play Hulk and you get an Iron Man duo. Loki. I have to put Loki in great. I used to be a Loki hater because I'm a Moon Knight player, and seeing a Loki in the enemy team, then I just get really, really happy. But he is like undoubtedly strong. Like the fact that he just has a Luna ult or an Invisible Woman ult is just so cool. Like you're just playing Luna without playing Luna, and I think that's pretty cool. His shift, the little talisman of protection or whatever it's called, is also really strong because like it counters Star-Lord ult, it counters a bunch of ults just on a 20-second cooldown. You do have to calm your team though. You do have to be like, yo, stay in the green circles. And if they do, then he's a really strong character. But if your team isn't that smart, then I would put him in fine. But he does have a really high skill ceiling. I have a bunch of friends that are like Loki mains, and they make the character look really good. I think he's also really easy to pick up, so even if you're in low elo, I think he's really good. Overall, I think he's just great. He's missing some things that keep him meta, like his healing is kind of low, his damage is kind of low. So I just put him in great for now. I have to put this guy in meta though. Or Luna Snow. She just does everything. Like her healing is so strong, and the little snowflake that you put on like a teammate is just so cool because you just put it on someone and you just forget about them forever. Like she just outputs so much healing. If you're a Luna and you don't have like 30k healing a game, like you're doing something wrong. Also, her ult's like undoubtedly the best ult in the game because it just makes your team immortal for 12 seconds, and 12 seconds is way too long. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they nerf it down to like 8 in the future, which people are gonna be like, oh, 8? 8's so short, and I'm like, no, she just makes you immortal. That game's so like, you don't know how sad it is when they Luna ult, and then after 12 seconds the Loki Luna ults, and then after 12 seconds the cloak and daggers all over the place, and then they're just immortal for like a minute straight. That's the worst feeling ever. That's a feeling that makes me want to log off and then go play Blotcher. Magik. I'm putting her in fine. I think she's great, but I'm putting her in fine because I know like a bunch of Magic mains. I know there's one Magic man that just makes her look so bad. I don't know how he does it because she's either 20-0 or she's like 1-8, and I just don't know. I just don't know. Like I would average it out, but I just don't know. I haven't seen a good one yet. I don't know. I just don't know what she does. Like I've played like 2 games of her. I don't understand her. Every Magic I see either instant dies or they just one tap me. I'm just gonna put her in fine. Like I'll think about her some other time. I don't want to think about it too much. She makes me sad. This guy has to go in high grade. He's just, I could put him in meta, but I think Strange just beats him just barely. The good thing about him is he's really good solo tank. And he's also a really good counter to Wolverine. That we'll talk about that all the way at the end. Because he's the only one that can really counter him. He just bubbles himself. Magneto's just really strong overall. He has a really strong ult, really consistent damage. He has good CC, good peel. He, like, if you're a support player, you love seeing a Magneto on your team. Or you love seeing a good Magneto on your team because he can just turn around, bubble you, and then you live. Like, he does something that like other tanks can't really do, and that's just help their team. Most tanks just sit in the front line, but Magneto can actually like help your backline, you know? Like, if you're a support player and you're sick of getting dived by Black Panther and stuff and your tank's not doing anything, just tell them to swap Magneto and then turn around, bubble you, push him away with his right click, and then one tap him. His ult's also just a hard counter to a bunch of ults in this game. Like, our hard counters Star-Lord, Punisher. Some people are figuring it out that hard counters Cloak and Dagger because you just throw it at her and she just dies. Overall, he's good. He's great. Yeah. He's always been great. Like, I think that's not a surprise. What is a surprise though is I think this girl, Mantis, I'm so sorry, she has to go down here now. She used to be the best support in the game. Like, last season she used to be better than Luna, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people agreed. But she just got power crap. Like, nothing happened to her, but every other support somewhat just got stronger. Like, she doesn't have a good team. Ooh. She does have a good team up. I take that back. But Her damage is good. Her healing is fine. It just gets whittled away really quickly. She gets jumped on pretty easily. The sleep is a really good CC ability. It's weird because if you think about it, she probably has one of the best kits in the game, but just like in practical games, she kind of just falls over. Like she's still a very consistent pick, but you would never pick her over like Luna or anything else because I think it's just how limited her healing is. I think that's the only thing keeping her from being good or keeping her from being really good. But if you're a mantis player, like you're fine, bro. Like keep it up. Mr. Fantastic. Yo, I don't know, guys. I actually just don't know. He's either here or he's like here. I all the players that I've seen play Mr. Fantastic make him look like he's here. But I personally believe he's not that bad. He's just really different. I don't think that putting him in DPS is kind of weird because he does play like a tank. He takes space really well, and that's about it. He doesn't really kill anyone. He just has really good survivability. Like if you're Mr. Fantastic and you're dying, like something's wrong. But you're never gonna get any kills. You just slowly walk in, you take a lot of space, and then you just 1v1 some guy in the corner, and then you'll win eventually because you're just out-sustain them. But that's Mr. Fantastic. He came out like a week ago, so people are still trying to figure him out. I just don't know. I just don't know about him. I do know about this guy though. I made a guide, guys. You guys should watch the guide. It's rank 1 Moon Knight, by the way. He's fine. He's just fine. He's like low fine. He's just not the best. The meta is moving towards 1 tank, 2 DPS, 3 supports. And Moon Knight is just so sad when he sees that. Because the 3 supports allows it so that you're just never going to kill anyone if they're on, because they just always out-heal it. And the 1 tank just makes it so that you're not building your ult as fast, because you're just not spreading your damage through the team. I'm so sad, Moon Knight. It's just so sad. I played him so little this season, just because of what the meta is. The ult changes are pretty cool. It makes it so you don't have to just rely on Groot anymore. You could honestly get like 1 kill, double kills if you just get a good ult and then you just onk them and pull them in like inside of the ult. But for now, he's like here. He's definitely better than Panther. Definitely better than all of these guys. I'll put him like up here for now. I'll move them like at the end. Like I'll do a final shift. It makes me so sad that he's not up here. He's just down here. They gotta give him a better team up, or they gotta make it so he doesn't fall over when a psylocke's behind him. Namor, I have to. I'm sorry. He's the best. He's one of the best. He's not the best DPS. That's a spoiler alert. He is not the best DPS. But he's up there. He was already always strong. Like last season, I probably would have put him in great. And then for some reason, they buffed him. They buffed the best part about him. Like his ice squid was already the best part about him. And then they buffed it. Like if you see a Luna on your team, you're always playing Namor. I'm always playing Namor. I think that he is just undoubtedly in the meta. The MRC is coming up in like a week, which is the Marvel Rivals Championship. It's like a bunch of teams participate, and I'm gonna be playing in it. I'm the DPS player. I'm not playing Moon Knight. I'm playing Namor. We're picking Namor because that character, he's just an all rounder. But he's not a. The stereotype with Jack of all trades is that they're not good at anything, but they can do everything. That's not what Namor. Namor's good at everything. His damage is just so consistent because he always has his squid up because it refreshes when he hits a shot. Or the cooldown goes down when he hits a shot. So he squids, shoots. So he's always having a squid on the field. It makes the enemy so sad because they have to take time off of shooting your TM to shoot your squid. And then his left clicks and his right click do such considerable damage. Like it may feel like you're shooting them with a water gun at the beginning, but you realize that you do it for the entire fight, and eventually they'll fall over because they'll either run out of heals or run out of sustain. You're breaking shields. You have 2 squids on the field. Your ice squid is like hawk twoing all over their enemy team. You hit a right click, he does the mega hawk two. He's just so good. The whale, it's kind of bad though, but he's just like, oh, the fact that he has a invincibility button is crazy. I remember seeing a TikTok when I first started playing the game. Like, what does Namor Bubble do? He goes up in the air. He doesn't do anything. That I don't know who made that TikTok. I hope they're in a good place now. But that is just Namor Bubble is one of the best abilities in the game. Someone's on you, you press shift, you're immortal. You're immortal, and then you come out, and then you're above them, and then you hit a left click, right click, and they're dead. It's beautiful. I love this character. Like this character has such a solo carry potential. If you want to solo carry the game, like even if you don't have a Luna, like play it. If you have a Luna, it'll make it so much easier. But even if you don't have a Luna, just play Namor. It'll be great. You'll win. You won't win if you play this character though. This character's pretty bad. I mean, I say that, and then I'm thinking about a game that I just played like 2 hours ago where I lost to her. But okay, maybe I have to put her fine then because I did lose to her. She's just so niche. Obviously, like she has a shtick, which is she takes control of an area and then holds it down really well. But the trade off is that you can't take any areas like at all. So as a tank, like she kind of struggles at her role because tanks aren't meant to just control space; they're meant to take space, and Penny just can't do that. So, like if you're a Penny man, you're loving life on defense, but you hate offense, and you just hate domination. Her ult's pretty strong though. Her mines, like you think that her mines would be less good in higher elo. In higher elo, I think people stop looking at the ground. I think I've seen more people get blown up in higher elo than low elo. I don't remember that many people dying to Penny back in gold. But now in higher elo, everyone dies. Everyone dies to it. She has room to get buff. I think she's okay. She's also pretty fun. So if you play her, then you're good. Also, like I'm not talking about some of the abilities. Like she obviously has the 4 second stun, and like that's good and all. But overall, she's so just okay. Psylocke's great. I would put her up here, but I think she fell over because Namor's. If Namor wasn't here, I think she'd be meta. But Namor's here. Because the moment she's out of invis, 3 squids turn around and just start shooting her. And I think that's so funny. I used to be a Psylocke man, but I stopped playing her because I actually don't know why. But everyone knows that she's good. She has such solo carry potential because she just appears behind someone and just one taps them, and then she gets out for free. Her ult's strong. Her damage is insane for an assassin. Her damage is too high. Like you could play Psylocke in the front line and just only shoot tanks, and she's honestly a decent pick just for doing that because of how high her damage is. Her damage is good. Her survivability is insane. If you're on Psylocke and you're dying, I don't know what you're doing. You have 3 abilities that get you out. You have 2 dashes and an invis, and your ult makes you immortal. And when you shoot people, your abilities refresh. So like if you're not 13-0 on that character, it's just like I don't know. Unless they have a Namor, then you can die. Like that's chill. I'm not that sad. I've had it enough with the Rocket Raccoon OTPs. I've had enough of them. I don't know what they do. What does he do? He just heals and he jumps around. Like yeah, he has the res, but the res doesn't do anything. I think the res is only good in like anything below. I don't know, anything below diamond, because it makes it so that if you make a mistake, then or if someone on your team makes a mistake, they come back. But if you're dying in higher elo, it only takes 3 seconds for the enemy teams to push up, and it takes 3 seconds for you to get res. So the res doesn't really do anything, because if you get a kill, like they won the fight even before you come back, unless the res is like right there. But if it is right there, it's just gonna get broken either way. His ult's also pretty bad. Like you think it's good because it's just Orisa Bongo from Overwatch 1, but people break it really easily and people kite it really easily. And compared to every other support ult, it's just not that good. They should make it so it heals or something. But I'm not a game designer, so don't trust me. I can finally put Scarlet. Oh, I can finally give Widow some company down here. Scarlet Witch is just. I had a game earlier where I went against the Scarlet Witch, and that was the first time I went against the Scarlet Witch in like a month, because no one plays her. This character has like OTPs in top 500. This character has OTPs in top 500. I don't think there's a single Scarlet Witch OTP. I just don't think there is. She has very consistent damage, but it's consistently horrible damage. She'll never kill anyone. It's just not possible. The only way you kill someone is if they're not getting healed. But in a game like this, everyone's getting healed. That's just how the game works. Her all also, I don't think I've ever seen anyone get a kill with it, like ever. The only good part of her is her movement, and her survivability is really good. Like she takes high ground. She kind of just bullies people off of high ground. Her stun's okay. She'll never die because she has two charges of an ability that makes her immortal. They're starting to buff her. They're making it so that her max HP damage is like better. So instead of just shooting the tanks, she can actually kill squishies. But that's not enough. She needs some more. She needs a lot more. They can increase her damage by like 1.5, and I still think she'd be like just fine at max. Like if you think that she's broken, I'm sorry. She's not. I think she's worse than Black Widow. I think she's the worst character in the game. I think this character's down here as well. Yeah, I think she's down here. I'm sorry, Necros. I'm sorry to all my Spider-Man mains. I love Spider-Man. I think he's so fun to play. Like I've played a couple games with him. He's so fun, but he's just so bad because he just gets blown up. And like last season, he was up here maybe, like here, right? But then now Namor's here, and Namor counters Spider-Man so much. There was one game where I opened on Moon Knight, and I came in a spawn, and there was a Spider-Man just sitting there for some reason. So I walked back and I swapped Namor, and I think I went 20-0. This character can't do anything against a character like this, against a character like this, against a character like this, against a character like this. He just falls over. Like he goes in, and what he's designed to do is that he kills one, and then he gets out before anyone can do anything to him. But the fact that he's just so squishy is just like he'll die before he even gets his one. The only redeeming factor is his ult. His ult is like undoubtedly very strong. It's like better Death Blossom because it gives him shields. But unless you're playing this character just to ult like once every minute, he just doesn't do anything. I think they need to buff him. I would really like to see Spider-Man good. And I'm saying that as a Moon Knight player, and Spider-Man Loki counters Moon Knight, but he's just so fun to be like this bad. Squirrel Girl. I have to put her in great. I just have to. She's just like, I don't know what happened. Like 2 weeks ago she was down here, and now she's up here. I just played her earlier. It's the only thing they changed about her was the ult, but like that ult change was amazing. Her ult went from being the least scary ult into the game to like genuinely a threat. Cause like she ults, and if no one shoots it, it'll bounce around, it'll target, it'll run into you, and then you'll just die. Another really good part about Squirrel Girl is that if you pair her with Mantis, she just becomes one of the best characters in the game. Because damage boosted Squirrel Girl, for some reason, just tears through every single front line. Every front line, and it like you'll randomly get kills on the enemy backline, and they're gonna be so sad. You farm all maybe once every 20 seconds if you're damage boosted Squirrel Girl. It's actually insane. The only thing keeping her from being really, really good is her survivability is really low. Like she's just a worse version of Namor Bubble because she just jumps up in the air. But it's still really easy to shoot. So if a psylocke comes behind you and you jump up in the air, all that psylocke does is just aim upward and then shoot you out of the air, which might be easier than shooting you on the ground. So I just don't think she's that good. Oh wait, I say that and I put her in great. No, I think she's really good, but it's not that good. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with this guy. This guy's always been good. He's just he's like one of the highest damages, like DPS in the game. The fact that he can one clip someone and 1v1 basically everyone in the game, it makes it incredible. His ult is also not one of the best in the game, but it's strong. It gets countered really easily because either they support ult it or they magneto ult it, or you just get shot out of the sky by Hela or Hawkeye. But the fact that it just exerts so much pressure on the enemy team, because if you hear legendary, you force all 6 players on the enemy team to play a different game for the next 10 seconds. And that amount of pressure is just really good. Like half the time when I pop out a Star-Lord, I'm not even killing anyone, but I just feel like my presence is heard all over the entire map. Like my team's pushing in, their team's running back, and they can't do anything. So for that reason, he's here. Everyone knows like the other reasons why he's good. He just insta kills a backliner if he just hits his shots. It's Star-Lord. I don't think he needs a nerf. I don't think he needs a buff. I think he's pretty good game design, low-key. And his team up with Adam Warlock is also pretty decent. Yeah, I have to put her up here. I want to put her up here. That's so cool that a character can go up that many ranks just by a on paper a small buff. Like she didn't get buffed that much. Like it was small number changes, and she went from being down here to the best character in the game. Some may argue that she's like over here maybe, but I don't think there's anyone that can say that she's not meta. I think in the MRC she's gonna be played every single time unless she's permabanned, which I also think she's gonna be permabanned. She's already permabanned in rank. She just does really consistent damage. She provides so much utility for the team, right? Like giving a damage boost to all 6 players on your team is so cool. She has pretty low survivability, but she makes up with that with one of the best ults in the game. Because she ults, and all of a sudden, the enemy team just have to... It forces out a support ult. But the thing is, Storm builds her ult faster than most support ults. So that, like, you will get a Storm ult kill, like, eventually in the game. Because you hear that voice line, your cloak and dagger starts panicking, your Luna starts panicking, your mantis starts panicking. It just changes the entire game. It makes the game really unfun, in my opinion. So, I mean, she's permabanned. Like, I think every meta character makes the game pretty unfun. It's like, it's honestly really cool though, because I think she's a pretty cool like character design. She's like half support, half DPS. But I think they went a little bit too overboard. They might have to nerf her ult a little bit, or nerf her damage. It's like one of them. Like, to talk about her abilities. Do I really want to talk about her abilities? They're all kind of simple. Like her Thor team ups, like okay. Everything's just okay. It's just her ult. It's just how consistently good. She's like the same boat as Namor. Like they both do really consistent damage. The only difference is that Storm actually has an ult and then Namor has a fish. So I think that's the end of meta, honestly. I don't think anyone else goes up there. This guy's like down here. He's like over here. He's always been good. His shotgun is like the fact that he can also one tap someone. He's not the only one with like Hawkeye. But he just does really consistent damage, especially with the rocket thing. That's the only reason why rocket's not very bad, is because of the team up. His cycle of turret, and then like he places down his turret, the enemy team takes 10 seconds to break it. The rocket uses his team up. The enemy team has to wait 15 seconds for it to disappear, and then he ults, and then the enemy team has to wait 10 seconds. Like he just does so much damage that he just controls the space so well. Like, it's rare for a Punisher to ever get a kill, in my opinion. But he just, like, his amount of damage, his amount of DPS, the amount that he just pumps into the enemy front line is just so high. So I have to put him in great. I see a lot of people putting Thor in, like, great, like, high great. I just don't understand it. I think he's just fine. Like, I'm not sad seeing a Thor. I'm not like overly amazed. Like I don't get it. I don't know what he does. People say, look at this. This is my tier list. I just realized. Yeah, he's fine. He dies too easily, and he just doesn't do enough damage. Like, yeah, when he presses F and uses all 3 of his Thor force, and then he like insta kills everyone. Yeah, that's cool and all, but like it lasts for 2 seconds, and the enemy team just runs away, and then goes back in, and then you don't have anything to help your team. He's also just like, he does what Wolverine kind of does, where he goes in and then tries to kidnap a tank. But Wolverine does it in like a second. Thor takes like 5 seconds to set up, and then he takes an extra 3 seconds to try to do it. It's so easy to just counter. Like, if you have a decent Luna on your team, you just right click him, and then all of a sudden, wow, you're down a Thor. And honestly, I'm kind of glad, because this character, like, if he was good, I don't think it'd be very fun to play against. Same thing with Venom. One of my friends keeps playing this character, and I just don't get why he keeps playing that character. There's a lot of Venom OTPs, and I get it. Like, he's not horrible. He's also really cool. He's also really fun to play. And it's like, you guys ever see that symbiote edit on YouTube? If you know what I'm talking about, then you know how cool this character is. But he does get blown up. Like, he does have 1600 HP, because he has his like base 800 or like 600 something, and then he has another 800 because of his shields. But his hitbox is just so large that if the enemy has a Namor or any character that does consistent damage, then he does get blown up before he can even do like an ounce of damage. The only thing that he's really good at is he goes in and then he gets attention off of another DPS. So the thing keeping Venom from being pretty bad or very bad is that he just enables another DPS to do stuff, but on his own, he can't really do anything on his own. This ult's also really bad. And you think that web slinging away makes it really hard for them to hit you? No, you can nah. His hitbox is so large that even while he's web slinging away, I think he's a hitbox. He's just a floating, really large circle. It's like aim labs. This character is really strong as well. There's so many characters that are just good. I think the meta is honestly in a decent spot right now. Then, huh? They buffed them. He's just a decent frontline brawler. He does a lot of damage to the enemy frontline, and then the moment they're down shields, he just hits the hook, pulls them in, and then he just beats people up. It's the same thing. Like I'm noticing a very consistent or a theme with all the good DPS, and all the good DPS are just very consistent damage. Storm, Namor, Psylocke, Star-Lord, Winter Soldier, Hela, Hawkeye. These are all just like, oh, and Squirrel Girl. Like they're all really consistent damage, and all the flankers are all in pretty bad spots right now. I'll have to say more about Winter Soldier. Like everyone's seen like the clips where he just goes again and again and again. Like he's fun to play. He's fun to play. He's good to play. He has a hook. Like that's sick. The fact that he gets shields when he just clicks an ability, he doesn't even have to hit it. It makes him have like effectively 500 HP in a team fight. And a DPS that has that much HP just never dies, and he does a lot of damage. The only bad part about him is you have to cycle his abilities really well, because he only has 3 bullets, but his passive that allows him to reload when he uses his abilities. If you don't believe what I'm saying, just watch one of Wanted streams. He's pretty good at Winter Soldier. I'm sure there's someone better, but like just watch a Winter Soldier play, and then you'll be like, wow, I want to play that character. But then whenever I try to play that character, I do really bad. But I think that's just me. I think that's just a skill issue. This character is low-key my baby. Like I love this character. Like this character is so cool. I'm gonna put him up here. I'm gonna put him up here just because I want to. People thought that like this character had like a hero arc. Like people thought he was like down here, like when the game first came out. Now he's up here. That's so cool. He has a niche, and the niche is that he beats up a tank. But even if they have 2 tanks, if they have 2 tanks, Wolverine is like here. But if they have 1 tank, then he's still decent. He just never dies, and that's pretty fitting for the character. But like every game I play Wolverine, I just feel immortal. Like he goes in and he just stares at their tank, and he doesn't even have to do anything. The fact just having a Wolverine in the game makes their tank have to play so scared. It's already an advantage for your team. Like, I don't think there's any other character that does that. Any other character that forces their tank to make such a significant playstyle change. Like I feel like just having a Wolverine in the game somewhere just gives them a debuff. It just makes it so they can't take space. They can't even think about moving forward. This Magneto can't even think about using his bubble on anyone but himself, because the moment he does, a Wolverine comes out of nowhere and takes him to Wakanda. I don't know. I'm trying to look. I'm trying to see which ones I can move around. Storm, Cloak, Luna above Strange, Namor above Strange. I think this is what meta looks like. Psy's better than Wolverine. She's more consistent. Star-Lord's better than Winter Soldier. Star-Lord's better than Wolverine. Invisible Woman's up here. Better like this. Better like that. Better like this, actually. These two kind of have to stay together. And then, yeah, these two are down here. Hela is better than Hawkeye, right? In my opinion, but I think that is definitely debatable. Hela goes up here. I think Winter Soldier is definitely worse than the Iron Man duo. He's better than Squirrel Girl. I think he's better than Punisher. I think Squirrel Girl is actually bottom great. fine. I do have to move Moon Knight down. That's how much he's struggling right now. Penny's definitely the it's like this. Like like all these tanky characters are really bad because tanks are in a pretty bad spot right now in the game. I'm gonna be honest. Hope they save him. Adam's top of fine. Then it goes Moon Knight probably. And then Groot's probably here. Honestly, yeah, that looks pretty good. And then the best pretty bad is probably Rocket. Then it's Cap. And then it's Jeff. And then yeah. Well, I think that's the tier list. I think that's just genuinely it. I made one like a couple days ago, and I'm pretty sure this is the exact same one I made. Might have changed a couple things, but well, that was just a really quick video I wanted to make while I'm making my other ones. If you guys or if anyone's listening to this, I hope you guys will stick around to see the next one I make. It's probably a Wolverine guide, but I'll make a bunch of Moon Knight videos afterward. I'll keep making videos. I really enjoy playing this game. I have a lot of free time, even though I'm a university student. I uploaded my last video on a channel with 0 subscribers and 0 videos, and now it has like 20,000 views. So, like anyone that watched that one and is watching this one, I appreciate you a lot. That's honestly really cool. I never thought I'd do it. Like I'm gonna start streaming more. I'm gonna start making more videos. Like, thank you guys a ton, right? All right, so I'll see you guys next time.